Hey guys, very recently 343 announced that there was going to be a massive March update for Halo Infinite coming next week. And just like all my videos, I'm going to speed run through the update itself so you guys can know exactly what to expect when this goes live. The update will go live March 19 and it's going to require a download. And one of the biggest things that's arriving with this update is going to be the networking overhaul. All issues like desync, jittering, being shot around corners, all of that is going to be drastically improved, if not fixed, thanks to this new networking model. I can't stress enough how important this change is going to be, and 343 have made a few updates to the new networking model since they released it in Firefight as a kind of test run. They said last December we shared a first look at it when it launched in Firefight King of the Hill and was featured in the combat workshop. It was great to see such a positive response from the community online, in our surveys and on Halo support, but we knew that it still needed some extra polish before it could roll out on a wider scale. Now that we've given it that extra time, we are confident that this updated model will result in a better and more consistent multiplayer experience. What's funny is that I wasn't expecting to see this until the April update, so I'm really glad 343 decided to surprise us and release this early. But moving on, next week Halo Infinite will be receiving Easy Anti-Cheat, and for those of you who aren't aware, Easy Anti-Cheat is a tool that will monitor the player's game files, and it helps ensure the integrity of each game, and it mainly combats cheating. The March update is going to improve 343's detection and enforcement capabilities, and it's greatly going to improve the game's overall security, and of course 343's ability to respond to cheaters. I think this is going to be an excellent addition too, and I think we all know Halo Infinite has been desperately needing this. Now, this next thing is something that I did talk about earlier this week, and that is the squad battle refresh. I can't wait for this. This is going to be so good for the game, and it's going to be featuring some Halo classics like Timberland from Halo Combat Evolved and Perdition from Halo 4. But that's enough stalling, let me show you all the maps arriving with next week's squad battle refresh. We have Perdition, Refuge, Timberland Evolved, Rendezvous, Gaia, Harvest, and Behemoth. I think squad battle has been crying out for an update, and all of these new maps really help spice up the experience. Moving on, we now have weapon tuning updates, and there are quite a few changes coming next week, so with that said, I'll try cover these as quick as I can. I'm going to overlay some video footage so you guys can see exactly what's changing with these weapons. First, we have the M392 Bandit and Bandit Evo having their reload speed increased by 10%, and apparently 343 were receiving a ton of feedback saying that the reloading felt slow and clunky, and that this update will attempt to address that, and you can see from the footage here it is a little bit faster. And next we have the Heat Wave. Its aim assist is going to be nerfed, and we can see here that they are decreasing the aim assist fall off range, aim assist range, and decreasing the aim assist angle. I'm impartial to this change. It can sometimes be annoying to get hit by a heat wave shot from a far distance. However, I do feel like this was more of a ranked change, so to speak, as some pro players would use this as like a mini sniper. Okay, the next change is great. Finally, we are getting a buff to the plasma pistol. It's going to have a faster charge up time, and that has been the biggest issue with the plasma pistol so far. It currently takes 26,000 years to charge up, and by the time you've done that, the next 10 Halo games have been released. It is worth noting that there is going to be a slight decrease in the rate of fire for the single shots, and also a faster overheat. But in the grand scheme of things, I'd much rather that and also have a faster charge up time, because that's the way we've always used the plasma pistol in the first place. It looks like the Stalker Rifle is receiving an update too. 343 have said here that they noticed an increase in community feedback expressing that the Stalker Rifle was overperforming, and they said that many players would use the weapon to chain together multiple kills without much room for counterplay, and as a result they have decreased the Stalker Rifle's overheat threshold and increased the venting duration, and you can see how that works on the screen right now. The next weapon receiving an update will be the Commando, and don't worry, this is going to be a buff, and it looks like it's going to be the buff we've all been waiting for. And the goal with the Commando buff was to give it some love and also make it so players can hold their ground against the Battle Rifle and Bandit Evo, and they've done this by giving it less aggressive bloom and increased close range friction, and this will lead to a more consistent damage output, and I really can't wait to use it after this update and see how it feels. A lot of you guys may have already seen this, however the Gravity Hammer is the next weapon to receive an update, and it's also a bit of a bug fix too, as 343 have fixed the issue that was doubling the power of the Gravity Hammer and its variants. 343 have increased the damage and knockback of the Gravity Hammer and its variants to be 1.5 times its pre-Season 5 strength, and that places those values at a halfway point between what it was pre-Season 5 and what it has been in the recent months. And I'm really happy to see that 343 are keeping it strong while also keeping it predictable. And that is the final weapon change you can expect to see next week. It looks like we are finally getting another version of Firefight, and this is Firefight Custom. Essentially, it's going to be a blank firefight mode that keeps the high-level structure of Firefight King of the Hill, but removes all the logic related to hills. In other words, this is Firefight King of the Hill without the King of the Hill. And I do believe this is going to allow forgers to create the classic firefight experience we all know and love. And finally, we have some quality of life and stability improvements. And the great news is that this update has a ton of improvements to stability thanks to a plethora of crash fixes. And that wraps up the March update. I have to say guys, I'm really looking looking forward to this, and it goes without saying the squad battle refresh will be awesome, but I seriously can't wait for the new networking model. If you guys enjoyed the video and you aren't subscribed yet, please go do that. It's completely free and you can change your mind at any time. I appreciate all of you who are subscribed. You are all absolute legends. With that said, I'll stop talking and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one.